Hey everyone! Welcome back to Silvercare Daily, your go-to place for the best health tips, advice, and life-saving info, especially for seniors and those over 60. I'm so glad you're here today because what we're about to talk about could literally save your life, or the life of someone you love. Did you know that every year, nearly 800,000 Americans suffer from a heart attack? That's roughly one every 40 seconds. And shockingly, a significant number of these heart attacks happen when people are completely alone. No one to call for help, no one to rush them to the hospital. It's scary to think about, but being prepared can mean the difference between life and death. Before we dive into the crucial steps you need to know if a heart attack strikes and you're by yourself, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your loved ones, and subscribe to Silvercare Daily. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us keep bringing you valuable, life-saving content. Trust me, what you're about to learn could give you the edge to survive a heart attack even when no one's around. So stick around, stay alert, and get ready to take control of your health like never before. Alright, let's get started. Let's start with number 7, unlock the door for emergency responders. It may sound simple, but unlocking your door before help arrives can save life-saving minutes. Every second counts when you're having a heart attack, and an open door could mean faster treatment and a better outcome. When it comes to surviving a heart attack, every second counts. One often overlooked but incredibly important step you can take to improve your chances is to unlock your front door before emergency responders arrive. If you're able, simply unlocking your door ahead of time can save precious time and speed up their access to provide life-saving care. Why is this so critical? Consider this. The American Heart Association tells us that after a heart attack begins, heart muscle starts to die within 20 minutes if blood flow isn't restored. This means every second of delay reduces the heart's chance to recover and increases the risk of long-term damage or fatal outcomes. Imagine this scenario. You're home alone and suddenly experience chest pain or shortness of breath, a classic sign of a heart attack. You call 911 immediately, but when paramedics arrive, they find the door locked. They now have to spend valuable time gaining entry, which may involve breaking down the door or searching for a key. Those minutes lost could mean the difference between quick treatment and severe complications. A striking real-life example comes from a recent case reported by a local news outlet. An elderly man in Florida suffered a severe heart attack but was able to unlock his door after calling emergency services. Paramedics arrived and immediately began treatment without any delay caused by locked entry. This quick access helped reduce the extent of his heart muscle damage and saved his life. Stories like these highlight how such a simple step can dramatically affect outcomes. If you live alone or care for someone over 60, it's important to make sure your home is ready so emergency responders can get in without any barriers. Simple preparations can make a big difference, such as keeping your front door unlocked when you're home and not feeling well, leaving a spare key with a trusted neighbor or family member, installing a smart lock that emergency services can access remotely, or informing your building's security or management about your medical condition. Taking these steps ahead of time helps remove obstacles and ensures help can reach you quickly when every second counts. In apartment complexes, gated communities, or homes with security systems, these extra steps are even more crucial. Paramedics often face delays trying to get through locked gates, buzz systems, or keypad entries. According to a survey by the National Fire Protection Association, forced entry delays can add several minutes to emergency response times, time that could be critical during a heart attack. Have you ever thought about how quickly paramedics could enter your home during an emergency? Could you realistically unlock your door if you're dizzy, weak, or struggling to breathe? If not, now is the perfect time to take action. Emergency preparedness isn't just about having a first aid kit or knowing CPR, it's also about removing obstacles for responders to get to you fast. Unlocking your door before help arrives is a simple, no-cost action that can make a life-saving difference. So, what's your plan? Are your doors ready to open for help if you need it? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. We're here to support you in making your home safer. In a medical emergency, your phone can become your most powerful lifeline. By switching to speaker mode, you free up your hands and allow yourself to breathe and move more calmly. And if your emergency medical info is visible on your lock screen, responders can immediately understand your conditions, allergies, or medications, saving time and preventing critical errors. When you're experiencing a heart attack, being able to communicate clearly with emergency responders is absolutely crucial, but it's also something many people overlook in the heat of the moment. One of the simplest and most effective things you can do is to switch your phone to speaker mode when you call 911. This allows you to talk hands-free, so you can focus on staying calm, following instructions, or even taking any medications if advised, without having to hold the phone to your ear. It also means that paramedics or emergency dispatchers can hear you clearly and respond more effectively, even if you're struggling to speak or breathe. But communication doesn't stop there. Another powerful tool you should set up right now is your phone's emergency medical ID, which displays critical health information right on your lock screen. Both iPhones and Android devices allow you to add details like your allergies, chronic conditions, medications you're taking, blood type, and emergency contacts. Imagine if you suddenly became unconscious or were unable to talk. This information can literally be a lifesaver for first responders. They won't have to waste precious time asking questions that you can't answer, and they'll be able to avoid potentially dangerous mistakes, like giving you medications that conflict with your existing prescriptions. A report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention highlights that medication errors in emergency care can lead to serious complications or even death, especially in older adults over 60 who often take multiple medications. Having your medical ID easily accessible can reduce those risks significantly. For example, there was a well-known case of a retired NBA player who suffered a sudden cardiac event. Because he had his emergency medical ID set up on his phone, paramedics knew immediately about his allergies and pre-existing conditions, allowing them to administer the correct treatment quickly, which helped save his life. Setting up your emergency medical ID removes that guesswork and gives responders a clear, instant picture of your health needs. And by switching to speaker mode during emergency calls, you keep your hands free to stay steady, hold on to something for support, or use your phone's screen to show information if needed. Have you ever practiced using speakerphone during a 911 test call or emergency drill? It might sound simple, but practicing could help you stay calm and efficient during a real crisis. Also, do you know if your loved ones over 60 have set up their emergency medical ID? If not, consider helping them today. It's an easy way to boost their safety. Emergency situations are unpredictable, but being prepared can make all the difference. Using your phone's speaker mode and setting up your medical ID are free, easy steps that can speed up treatment, reduce errors, and save lives. So don't wait until it's too late. Take a moment right now to activate these features on your phone and encourage your family and friends, especially those over 60, to do the same. It's a small action with a huge impact. What vital medical details would you include in your emergency medical ID? Share your thoughts or stories below. We'd love to hear how you're preparing to stay safe. Number 5 on our list is practice controlled breathing. A heart attack is terrifying, but panic only makes things worse. Slow, steady breaths can help regulate your heartbeat and give your body the calm it desperately needs to hold on. When the sudden onset of a heart attack strikes, staying calm can be one of the most important things you do for your heart and overall survival. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to manage your body's response to this emergency is through controlled breathing. The recommended technique is to inhale slowly and deeply for 4 seconds, then exhale gently and fully for 6 seconds. This breathing pattern helps regulate your heart rhythm, lowers stress hormones, and calms your nervous system, which can prevent symptoms from worsening. Why does this matter so much? Research from the American Heart Association shows that stress and anxiety trigger the release of adrenaline and cortisol, which increase your heart rate and blood pressure, putting extra strain on your heart during a critical time. Controlled breathing stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system, which slows your heart rate and promotes relaxation. This can reduce chest pain, dizziness, and the risk of irregular heartbeats. To illustrate the power of this technique, consider the example of a famous athlete who experienced early signs of a heart attack during a stressful event. Instead of panicking, he focused on his breath, following a slow inhale-exhale cycle. This helped keep his heart steady and gave him the clarity to call for emergency assistance quickly. His calm response made a real difference in his recovery and serves as a strong reminder that controlled breathing is more than just a relaxation method, it's a potentially life-saving skill. Have you ever felt overwhelmed during a health scare and noticed how your breathing changed? Practicing this simple breathing technique beforehand can prepare you to stay composed if symptoms appear, especially if you are over 60, when heart attacks become more common. The good news is you don't have to wait for a crisis to start. Daily practice can improve your heart health and lower chronic stress. According to the CDC, chronic stress is a significant risk factor for heart disease, making controlled breathing a valuable tool for prevention as well as emergency response. Here's how to do it properly. Breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, filling your lungs completely. Then exhale gently through your mouth for a count of 6, emptying your lungs fully. Repeat this cycle several times until you feel your body begin to relax or until medical help arrives. Even a few minutes of this breathing pattern can help steady your heart and reduce anxiety. In summary, practicing controlled breathing is a low-effort, high-impact way to manage your body's reaction during a heart attack. It's especially important for seniors and those with heart conditions to keep this technique in mind. So, what do you think? Have you tried breathing exercises to manage stress or heart symptoms before? Feel free to share your experiences or questions in the comments. Let's help each other stay calm and prepared. Now for number 4, sit or lie down and stay still. This step is all about reducing your heart's workload. Once you've called for help, stop what you're doing, find a supported position, and let your body conserve energy while help is on the way. When you begin to experience symptoms of a heart attack, such as intense chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, or nausea, it's absolutely vital to immediately sit or lie down and remain as still as possible. Avoiding any physical exertion, no matter how small, is one of the simplest yet most powerful actions you can take to protect your heart in those critical moments. Movement forces your heart to work harder to pump blood, increasing oxygen demand at a time when the heart muscle is already struggling due to blocked arteries. By sitting or lying down in a safe, supported position, you reduce the strain on your heart, lower your heart rate, and prevent further damage while waiting for emergency medical responders. Why is this so important? During a heart attack, parts of your heart muscle are deprived of oxygen-rich blood. The longer that oxygen deprivation lasts, the greater the damage, which can lead to heart failure or even death. The American Heart Association highlights that any unnecessary physical activity during this time worsens the injury by increasing the heart's workload and oxygen needs. Resting quietly allows your heart to conserve energy, helping to stabilize your condition. Consider the example of a well-known professional athlete who suffered a heart attack during practice. Initially, he tried to walk to get help but quickly became weaker and more dizzy. Once he sat down and stayed completely still, his symptoms stabilized enough for him to call 911 and receive treatment promptly. This real-life story illustrates how the simple act of staying still can make a life-saving difference. Here's a question for you. If you or a loved one starts feeling the early warning signs of a heart attack, do you know how to position yourself safely? Many people panic and move around, which unfortunately increases the heart's workload and risk of collapse. The safest approach is to sit in a comfortable chair with back support or lie flat on your back with your head slightly elevated. This position not only helps improve blood flow but also reduces the risk of falling, especially important for seniors over 60, who are more prone to falls during emergencies. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among older adults, so preventing additional injuries during a heart attack is crucial. Have you ever witnessed someone in a medical emergency not resting properly, and what was the outcome? Sharing experiences like these can raise awareness and help others prepare better. To sum up, sitting or lying down and staying still is a simple but essential step that significantly reduces the heart's workload, minimizes further injury, and keeps you safe while waiting for help. Your body needs rest now more than ever. Remember this advice, and share it with friends and family to improve emergency outcomes for everyone. Not swallow, chew. This one tiny action can slow clot formation and may restore blood flow before medics arrive. If you're not allergic, it's one of the most powerful things you can do on your own. If you ever suspect you're having a heart attack, one of the most important and potentially life-saving steps you can take right away is to chew an aspirin, assuming you're not allergic and aren't currently taking blood-thinning medications. It's crucial to chew the aspirin instead of swallowing it whole because chewing breaks it down faster, allowing the medicine to enter your bloodstream through the tissues in your mouth much more quickly. This rapid absorption helps the aspirin begin working right away to prevent further damage to your heart. Aspirin works by inhibiting the action of platelets, which are the blood cells responsible for clotting. During a heart attack, a blood clot blocks the arteries that supply oxygen-rich blood to the heart muscle. By slowing down the formation of new clots and preventing existing ones from growing, aspirin helps to restore some blood flow to the heart. This can limit the size of the heart attack and reduce long-term damage. According to the American Heart Association, early administration of aspirin during a heart attack can reduce the risk of death by up to 25%. This makes aspirin one of the simplest yet most effective first aid treatments available before emergency medical services arrive. Every minute truly counts when the heart muscle is starved of oxygen. Tissue damage worsens the longer the blockage remains. Let's put this in perspective with a real-world example. In 2012, former U.S. President Bill Clinton suffered a heart attack and reportedly took aspirin shortly after symptoms started. His quick action helped stabilize his condition by slowing clot progression while he awaited professional care. His case gained widespread media coverage and highlighted how even a basic aspirin tablet can have a profound impact on survival and recovery. Now, consider this. Do you keep aspirin easily accessible at home or carry it with you, especially if you're over 60 or care for an older adult? Heart attacks become more common with age, and having aspirin within reach could make all the difference. That said, aspirin isn't suitable for everyone. If you have allergies to aspirin, a history of stomach ulcers, or you're already on blood thinners, it's important to consult your doctor before relying on aspirin as an emergency treatment. Here's a question for you. Have you ever talked to your healthcare provider about whether aspirin is safe and recommended for you? Preparing in advance by knowing your medical status and having aspirin handy ensures you won't hesitate or waste precious time during a heart attack. The more prepared you are, the better your chances of surviving and recovering well. So, what's your plan? Do you know exactly where your aspirin is right now? Is it easy to grab during an emergency? Taking a moment today to get your aspirin ready and understand how to use it could literally save your life, or the life of someone you love. Remember, fast action with aspirin can help limit heart damage and improve survival during a heart attack. Don't wait until it's too late, be ready to act. Moving to number 2, and this one is non-negotiable, call emergency services immediately. Don't drive yourself. Don't wait to see what happens. Calling 911 gets trained professionals to you fast, and it's the single most effective step you can take to stay alive. When it comes to surviving a heart attack, the most important action you can take is to call emergency services immediately. Dial 911 without any hesitation. Time is absolutely critical because heart muscle begins to die quickly when blood flow is blocked. Don't wait to see if your symptoms improve, and never try to drive yourself to the hospital. Calling 911 connects you to trained professionals who can provide life-saving treatment right away, even before you reach the hospital. This early intervention can make all the difference in saving your life and reducing permanent damage to your heart. Why is calling 911 so crucial? The American Heart Association reports that after a heart attack starts, heart muscle cells begin to die within 20 minutes if blood flow isn't restored. Emergency medical services, EMS, personnel are equipped with advanced tools and medications that can stabilize your condition during transport. They can administer oxygen, monitor your heart's rhythm, and even perform defibrillation or give clot-busting drugs if needed. All of this can begin immediately when EMS is on the scene, rather than waiting until you arrive at the hospital. Trying to drive yourself is extremely dangerous because heart attack symptoms often include dizziness, weakness, severe chest pain, or shortness of breath, all of which impair your ability to focus and safely operate a vehicle. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, a significant percentage of heart attack patients who try to drive themselves end up delayed or involved in accidents. This delay not only puts you at risk but also others on the road. Paramedics, on the other hand, can navigate traffic faster and provide continuous monitoring and emergency care on the way to the hospital. A powerful example is the story of former U.S. President Bill Clinton, who experienced a heart attack in 2004. Because he immediately called for emergency help, medical teams quickly began treatment, including angioplasty and stent placement, which saved his life and allowed for a successful recovery. His experience shows how vital it is to trust the professionals and act fast. Have you saved emergency numbers like 911 on speed dial or programmed them into your phone? Do you and your loved ones know exactly what to do if someone shows signs of a heart attack? Being prepared before an emergency strikes can mean the difference between life and death. In summary, if you or someone you care about experiences chest pain, shortness of breath, or any heart attack symptoms, do not delay. Call 911 immediately. Do not attempt to drive yourself or wait to see if the symptoms pass. The quick response from emergency services is the single most effective way to increase survival rates, reduce heart damage, and get you on the path to recovery faster. Your heart's health literally depends on making that call without hesitation. And finally, number 1, recognize the early signs of a heart attack. This is where everything begins. Knowing the warning signs, even the subtle ones, gives you the power to act fast. Because the sooner you realize what's happening, the greater your chance of survival. When it comes to surviving a heart attack, awareness is everything. The very first and most crucial step isn't a medication or a phone call, it's recognizing what's happening inside your body before it's too late. The earlier you notice the warning signs, the sooner you can act, and the higher your chances of survival and full recovery. The most dangerous heart attacks are often the ones people don't realize they're having. Heart attack symptoms are not always dramatic or obvious. In fact, many people, especially those over 60, mistake early warning signs for indigestion, anxiety, fatigue, or even muscle strain. Classic symptoms include a feeling of pressure, tightness, or discomfort in the chest, but the pain can also radiate to the arms, shoulders, back, neck, or jaw. Other common signs include shortness of breath, cold sweats, nausea, lightheadedness, or a sense of impending doom. Some may experience unusual fatigue days or even weeks before the actual attack, particularly women and older adults. According to the American Heart Association, nearly 1 in 5 heart attacks is classified as a silent heart attack, meaning the individual didn't realize they were having one at the time. This highlights just how easy it is to dismiss the signs. Let's not forget the case of Bob Harper, celebrity trainer from the show The Biggest Loser, who suffered a massive heart attack at just 51. Despite being in top physical shape, he missed the subtle warning signs, fatigue and light chest discomfort, and collapsed during a workout. He later shared that if it hadn't happened in a public gym, he wouldn't have survived. His story reminds us that heart attacks don't discriminate, and symptoms can sneak up silently. It's especially important for those over 60 to be vigilant. As we age, our nerve sensitivity can decline, and so can the intensity of pain perception. That means many seniors might not feel the classic chest-crushing pain you see in the movies. Instead, they may just feel slightly breathless or unusually tired. This is why educating yourself and your loved ones about the full range of heart attack symptoms is essential. Would you know the difference between a panic attack and a heart attack? Would you recognize a heart attack if it presented only as back pain or shortness of breath? These questions matter because hesitation or misjudgment could cost precious minutes and possibly your life. The goal is not to create fear, but to foster preparedness. Learn your body. Pay attention when something feels off, especially if symptoms are unusual or persist more than a few minutes. If you feel unsure, err on the side of caution. Call emergency services. It's always better to be wrong and alive than wait until it's too late. In conclusion, recognizing the early signs of a heart attack is your first and most powerful defense. It puts everything else, calling for help, taking aspirin, conserving energy, into motion. You don't need a medical degree to save your own life. You just need awareness and the courage to act on it. And there you have it. Those are the 7 life-saving steps every senior over 60 must know to survive a heart attack alone. Remember, knowledge isn't just power, it can be a lifesaver. If you take away one thing from today's video, let it be this: when it comes to heart attacks, every second counts, and being prepared is your best defense. Whether it's recognizing the subtle warning signs, calling for help immediately, or simply slowing your breath to steady your heart, these simple actions could make all the difference. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button, share it with your friends and family, especially seniors and those over 60, and don't forget to subscribe to SilverCare Daily for more essential senior health tips. Also, I'd love to hear from you. What surprised you most about today's video? Have you or someone you know ever experienced a heart attack alone? Drop your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your experiences could inspire and help others in our community. Thank you so much for watching and trusting Silvercare Daily to keep you informed and empowered. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.